All right, crypto fans, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive.
Always.
Today we're going deep into the latest crypto deep dive market report, fresh from October 29th, 2024.
Oh, yeah, this one's hot off the press.
We're talking some serious market moves.
Some big Bitcoin action for sure.
And even a few bold predictions that might just blow your mind.
Definitely a lot to unpack here.
Absolutely. And you know who we're talking to, right? This one is for our retail investors and all you crypto fans out there.
The ones who live and breathe crypto.
So let's jump right in. First up, what's the overall market looking like today?
Well, the report's painting a pretty optimistic picture, actually.
Okay, I'd like the sound of that.
The global crypto market cap is up 2% in the last 24 hours,
Not bad. Not bad at all.
reaching a solid $2.51 trillion.
Trillion with a T.
And get this, the total trading volume is sitting at a massive $131 billion.
Wow, that's some serious activity.
It really suggests a lot of confidence from both institutional and those retail investors.
That's great to hear. But let's get a little more granular now. Out of the top 100 coins, who are the winners and losers in this 24-hour snapshot?
Well, it looks like Caspa, KAS, is having a bit of a rough day, down 2.5%.
Ouch.
But hey, on the flip side, we've got some real winners out there.
Lay it on me.
Dogecoin, DOGE, is on a tear right now, up a whopping 17.61%.
Woof woof. Much wow.
Popcat, BupoPcat, is right behind it, soaring by 23.65%.
Gotta love a good meme coin rally.
And SUI is making some serious noise, surging 25.79%.
Those are some impressive gains for sure. But what about the heavy hitters? What's happening with Ethereum and Bitcoin?
Ethereum, ETH, is showing its strength up a healthy 6.80%.
Solid.
But of course, all eyes are on Bitcoin, BTC.
As always.
It's up 5.74% and currently trading at $72,794.
Hold on, did you say $72,794?
You heard that right.
That's incredible. We haven't seen Bitcoin at this level since June. It's getting awfully close to its all-time high now.
It's definitely creating a buzz, pushing closer to that $70,000 mark.
Which we all know is a big psychological level.
Huge. It often acts as a catalyst for further upward movement.
Fingers crossed. But I'm sensing a but coming.
Well, it's worth noting that this Bitcoin surge is happening alongside a pre-market surge in crypto-related stocks.
Interesting. So you're saying there's a connection there.
Exactly. It seems like there's a growing link between those traditional markets and the crypto world.
So we're seeing more traditional investors dipping their toes into crypto.
It definitely seems that way.
Yeah.
Investors are recognizing the potential of cryptocurrencies, and that's having a ripple effect on related stocks.
Okay, so let me recap. We've got an overall market upswing. Bitcoin's making a run for its all-time high, and traditional investors seem to be warming up to the crypto space. But now the Crypto Deep Dive report throws in a little curveball.
Oh, yeah.
A prediction from Bitfinex analysts that a perfect storm could push Bitcoin to a whole new all-time high in the coming weeks.
Now that's got my attention.
Mine too. What's behind this perfect storm scenario?
Well, they're pointing to a few key factors. First up, we've got the U.S. presidential election coming up. And as you know, elections always add a layer of uncertainty to the market.
True.
And uncertainty can sometimes create opportunities for assets like Bitcoin.
Ah, yes, the good old Trump trade narrative. Didn't we see something similar back in 2016?
Exactly. Some analysts believe that if Trump wins, it could trigger a rally in Bitcoin.
Interesting. But help me understand this. Why would a Trump victory specifically impact Bitcoin in that way?
Well, it all comes down to that idea of uncertainty and safe havens. Some investors see Bitcoin as a hedge against volatility in those traditional markets.
So if Trump wins and there's a perception of increased maybe economic or political instability, those investors might flock to Bitcoin.
Precisely, as a way to protect their assets.
So it's like a digital version of that classic flight to gold during times of uncertainty.
You got it. But the election is just one piece of the puzzle here.
What else is fueling this perfect storm prediction?
The other factor is seasonality. Historically, the fourth quarter of the year tends to be bullish for Bitcoin.
So we've got the election potentially shaking things up, and then this historical trend of Bitcoin rallying towards the end of the year.
Right.
It does sound like a recipe for a perfect storm if those trends continue.
Indeed. And Bitfinex analysts believe these factors could combine to create a really powerful upward push for Bitcoin.
It's a bold prediction for sure.
It certainly is. But what's even more interesting is that Bitfinex isn't the only one feeling bullish about Bitcoin.
Oh, really?
The report highlights VanEck's outlook, and they're seeing some serious long-term potential.
Okay, I'm intrigued. VanEck is known for their deep research, so I'm all ears.
Their head of digital assets research, Matthew Siegel, believes Bitcoin is on track for a significant breakout.
A breakout, huh?
He sees some parallels between the current price action and those patterns we saw back in 2020.
Back in 2020.
Yeah, when Bitcoin rallied pretty strongly after the U.S. election results.
So VanEck's basically saying history might repeat itself.
It's a compelling argument for sure, especially with how volatile things can get around election time.
No doubt about that. But here's where it gets really interesting.
Oh.
VanEck Research has released some long-term projections.
Long-term projections for Bitcoin.
And get this, in their base case scenario, they believe Bitcoin could reach $2.9 million per coin by 2050.
$2.9 million.
You heard that right. And wait, there's more. In a super bullish scenario, they're predicting Bitcoin could hit over $52.3 million per coin.
Hold on, are you serious? $52.3 million per Bitcoin.
That's what they're saying.
That's almost impossible to even imagine. What's the logic behind such a wild prediction?
Well, their research is based on this idea that Bitcoin will play a bigger and bigger role in the global economy.
Okay, I can see that.
They think it'll account for a larger chunk of international trade
Interesting.
and even become a more significant part of those central bank reserves.
So they're basically saying Bitcoin should become like a major force in the world's financial system.
That's a pretty bold statement. But you know what? It seems like everyone's laser focused on Bitcoin today.
Well, it is the OG crypto.
True, but the crypto world is way bigger than just Bitcoin, right?
Absolutely. It's a whole universe out there.
What else is the Crypto Deep Dive report serving up?
Well, let's dive into the exciting realm of the metaverse.
Oh yeah, the metaverse, the virtual world everyone's talking about.
Exactly. The report has some promising news from the Sandbox.
Okay, I'm listening. What's going on in the Sandbox?
They're in the middle of Alpha Season 4, AS4, and it's exceeding all expectations.
Really?
Record-breaking player numbers and engagement levels.
That sounds like people are loving it. So how many players are we talking about?
Over 276,000 players are exploring the Sandbox right now,
That's a lot of people.
with an average play time of 64 minutes per session.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. It definitely seems like the metaverse is gaining some serious traction.
No doubt about it. But what's driving all this popularity?
Good question.
Well, one key factor is the involvement of some major brands and intellectual properties.
You mean like big names?
Huge names. We're talking Hell's Kitchen, Ubisoft's Rabbids, Zepta Labs, Cut the Rope Care Bears, The Voice, even Galantis.
Wow, that's a star-studded lineup.
It's like the metaverse is becoming this melting pot for pop culture, entertainment, and gaming all in one.
You can hang with the Rabbids, cook in Hell's Kitchen, sing on The Voice, all in a virtual world.
Exactly. It's pretty mind-blowing.
It definitely blurs the lines between the real and the virtual.
And that integration of familiar brands and experiences is attracting a much wider audience.
Makes sense. It's like the metaverse is the new frontier for entertainment and brand engagement.
Spot on.
But let's shift gears a bit now.
Okay.
The Crypto Deep Dive report also points to some friction brewing between the crypto industry and those regulators.
Ah, the classic battle.
It's like this tug of war between innovation and oversight.
Definitely a tension that can't be ignored.
The report specifically focuses on Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong and his criticism of the SEC.
Oh yeah, he's been pretty vocal about that.
So what's the main issue between Coinbase and the SEC?
Well, Armstrong argues that the SEC has been inconsistent and unclear in their approach to crypto regulations.
So lack of clarity.
Exactly. And he claims it's creating confusion and harming the industry's growth.
That's a valid concern.
He's even called for the next SEC chair to apologize for the damage he believes they've caused,
Wow.
and to withdraw what he considers to be frivolous legal cases.
He's not holding back.
Not at all. His stance really reflects a growing sentiment within the crypto industry.
What do you mean?
A lot of industry leaders feel like the current regulations are outdated.
They can't keep up with the pace of innovation.
Right. They're calling for policymakers to adapt to this rapidly changing landscape.
It's like a clash of the titans. The established regulatory force is trying to catch up with this fast-moving technological world.
A classic tale.
This regulatory uncertainty is definitely a big part of the crypto story.
For sure.
It's easy to get caught up in all the excitement of the market and the metaverse.
Right. All the shiny new things.
But we can't forget about those regulatory challenges.
Absolutely. They could have a huge impact on the future of crypto.
It's a tough balancing act for sure. But let's try to put all this together. What are the big takeaways from this Crypto Deep Dive report? What should our listeners be paying attention to, especially those retail investors and our crypto enthusiasts?
Well, I think the biggest thing is that the crypto market overall is looking pretty strong and optimistic.
It's definitely giving off those vibes. And of course, we can't forget those wild predictions we talked about.
Right.
Bitfinex hinting at A perfect storm for Bitcoin,
Perfect storm.
possibly pushing it to new all-time highs.
Driven by the election and those seasonal trends.
Exactly. And then there's VanEck with their long-term projections.
Don't even get me started on those.
Bitcoin reaching millions per coin by 2050.
Mind-blowing stuff.
It really makes you think about the future of Bitcoin, doesn't it?
No doubt.
Yeah.
But we have to remember, these are just projections. The crypto market, it's always unpredictable.
True, true. And hey, it's not just Bitcoin making headlines. The metaverse is out there making some serious moves too.
Oh, yeah. The Sandbox is killing it right now.
Attracting those big brands, bringing in tons of players.
It's becoming more than just hype. It's a real platform for entertainment, for gaming, maybe even commerce down the line.
It's definitely a space to watch.
Yeah.
But then we have that tension between the crypto industry and the regulators.
Always lurking in the background.
Coinbase and the SEC going head to head.
It highlights those challenges and uncertainties the industry has to deal with.
Navigating this whole regulatory landscape is a tough job.
For sure. So we've got a lot going on, a bullish market, wild predictions, the metaverse taking off, and regulatory uncertainty swirling around.
Sounds about right. Where do you see all of this heading? What's your take on the future of crypto?
Honestly, it's impossible to say for sure, especially in a market as crazy as crypto. But what I find really interesting is that constant push and pull between innovation and regulation.
It's like a dance.
Exactly. Crypto is always pushing the boundaries, challenging the old ways, and forcing those regulators to adapt. It's what keeps things so exciting and so unpredictable.
It's definitely a wild ride, that's for sure. So what about you listeners out there? What are your thoughts on all of this?
Yeah, we want to hear from you.
Where do you see the crypto market going? What excites you about this space? What worries you?
Share your insights, your predictions, your questions. This is an ongoing conversation, and we need your voices to be a part of it.
Couldn't have said it better myself. The crypto world is constantly changing, and we're all figuring it out together.
Learning as we go.
So stay curious, stay informed, and stay engaged. Who knows what surprises are waiting for us just around the corner?
That's the beauty of it.
Until next time, happy investing, everyone.
And may your portfolios be evergreen.